Hello everyone, my name is Masood Rahman. I am an assistant professor of Dalhousie University. So this work was conducted when I was a postdoctoral fellow at Polytechnic Montreal. So this was conducted by me, Professor Futscombe and Marco Castelluccio. So today I'm going to talk about non-reproducibility of software bugs. So we are already in the session of software bugs, so we do not need much introduction, but these are some real life examples of software bugs. So in 2017, 600 software bugs were recorded and they cost about $1.7 trillion to the global economy, and they affected 3.7 billion people. So that's a significant impact of software bugs. And developers spend about 50% of their development time in finding and fixing the software bugs. Now, one of the steps of software debugging is to reproduce that bug in the developer's work environment. So when a bug report is submitted, developers try to reproduce that bug using the available information, but they often fail to reproduce that bug. And according to a recent survey, that there are about 17% non-reproducible bugs in a bug repository. So that's a significant amount. So what we did in this study, we tried to better understand the non-reproducibility of software bugs by asking 5 research questions. So in the first question, we try to identify what are the key factors that might explain the non-reproducibility of software bugs. In the second question, we try to identify what are the key factors according to the professional developers that might explain the non-reproducibility of bugs. Then we try to find out whether our finding matches with the earlier findings. Then we are also interested about how the professional developers deal with non-reproducible bugs. And finally, we try to find out some actionable insights from this study. So this is the workflow of our study. So we collected hundreds of bug reports from Eclipse and Mozilla. Then we do filtration and sampling. And finally, we come up with 576 non-reproducible bug reports. And then we use these bug reports for our qualitative analysis using grounded theory. And from that grounded theory, we found a list of key factors that might explain the non-reproducibility of bugs. And using them, we also conducted the developer study as well as the replication study. And finally, we come up with some actionable insights. So using this insight, we answer the 5 research questions that we have. So because of the time limitation, I will go through each of these research questions briefly. For details, you need to read the paper. So according to the grounded theory that we analyzed, there are 11 key factors that might explain the non-reproducibility of software bugs. So these are some usual suspects like the bug duplication, then false positive bugs, as well as the bug intermittency. But we also found that missing information in the bug report is a key factor behind non-reproducibility of bugs. But beside this, we have also other key factors that might explain the non-reproducibility of bugs. Now, in the second research question, we try to find out what the professional developers think about the key factors that we discovered using grounded theory approach. So according to them, missing information in the bug reports is one of the key reasons that makes a reported bug non-reproducible. But they also agree that bug duplication, performance regression, then memory misuse, these are also key factors that could lead a bug to non-reproducibility. And there are also other key factors. So what we found that developers are mostly agreeing with our analysis. Then in the third research question, we tried to find out the matching between our findings and the earlier findings, and we found that they are mostly aligned. Obviously, we are explaining more by identifying more key factors behind the non-reproducibility of bugs. Then we also identify how the professional developers handle the non-reproducibility of bugs, and we found that they're using lots of ad hoc approaches and they need some appropriate tools and technologies to deal with the non-reproducible bugs. So in the fifth research question, we try to find out some actionable insights to help the developers to deal with non-reproducible bugs. So we found that the current tools that we have for duplicate bug detection might not be sufficient. So we need tools that can detect those kind of duplicate bug reports that have different symptoms, but they share the same root causes. So we need novel tools for dealing with this kind of duplicate bug reports. Then we also need to consider the underlying semantics from the bug report to detect the false positive bug reports during their submission. Then we also need advanced tools and technologies to collect more information from the software users to complement the incomplete bug report. Then the current documentation that we have are mostly API documentation, but we need high-level software documentation for the software users. And we need appropriate tools for generating those kind of high-level software documentation as well. Then we also need the reproduction sandbox. So for example, for some bugs like the performance bugs, to reproduce that kind of bug, the software system needs to be executed multiple times. So right now we do not have that much tools to handle this kind of situation. So based on our developer survey, we found that a bug reproduction sandbox is needed that could facilitate the multiple execution of a software system. And it will also help to explore all the execution scenario of a software system. Then we also need scalable and intelligent tools to find the expert to find the right people and for their expertise, and their expertise could be useful for reproducing the software bugs as well. So these are some of the messages from this study. So if according to the recent survey, about 17% of the bugs could be non-reproducible. So that's a significant amount. And we found that there are 11 key factors that might explain the non-reproducibility, and we use grounded theory approach for identifying them. And our findings are also validated by 13 professional developers. And we also advanced the current understanding of non-reproducibility of bugs by conducting the multimodal study. And we also suggest a bunch of novel tool ideas that could be useful for improving the bug reports as well as to improve their reproducibility. Yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say. And now I'm ready to take a few questions. Thank you.